Hi there, I'm Timothy Linsdau, video producer, Christian, and today I'm putting on my science hat. I was reading about this startling and rather savage-looking fossil that was discovered. Now why is this startling or savage-looking fossil? Well, from what we can see from the remains of the fossil, this particular carnivore, if you will, was larger than any lion, tiger existing today. But it looked more like a hyena. So it's kind of been classified that as a Hyaenodon, because it has that hyena look to it, but kind of a blend of cat and dog. I guess you'd compare that a little bit to hyena and cheetahs, where they're somewhere in between. But the particular fossils, this fossil's head is like huge, like the size of a rhinoceros or something. Very big, very large canine teeth. So I'd say it kind of resembles a saber cat a little bit with the size of their fangs, if you will. But their teeth are very sharp in the sense they don't have crushing molars. And so they would have probably been more outfitted like a hyena to take down, and tear apart their prey. So that's kind of where that goes. But what I found was fascinating is that they discovered that it's not like a recent discovery in the field. It's a discovery in a museum. I found that kind of peculiar. They were just digging around in the old archives in a museum, and here pops up this fossil that nobody seemed to know about. And I just wonder how many of those things are in museums like that get lost in the archives. And, who knows what they came in from the field, they sorted out all the stuff they'd found, stored it away, and somehow things changed and they forgot about it. So it was, it's a found fossil, but not in the normal way you would think it would be found. So I had the opportunity to work on a video on a mountain near the border here, and they allowed me to go into their archives to see ancient tools that some ancient native tribes had made because of the type of stone that was on the mountain. The fascinating thing is that they didn't want anybody to know where they had found it. I knew generally where it was, but I was to sign a paper that says I would never divulge where it's at. Well, I don't know specifically anyway, just the general area. But that was fascinating. So having to get a chance to go into a museum's archives and look through things like that, actually handle them, that was pretty neat. So how many things like that get lost? I think that's kind of interesting. But this particular carnivore, if you will, could have possibly been bigger than a polar bear. And I've heard of polar bears weighing as much as 1,800 pounds. So that would have been a monster of a beast. But what's so important about this, that it was discovered in a museum, is kind of interesting. I don't know how many times that happens, but I think I've heard of such things. But in the fossil record, it says that it arose and spread quickly in the sense of evolution, an evolution speak, if you will, meaning that it just suddenly appeared all over the world, which creates a kind of a conundrum, a strange thing, because if we're talking about something evolving from one species to another, first of all, how does it appear in the fossil record as one complete species, from tip of the tail to the snout of its great big nose? And there's no transition of this animal anymore. It's just solid in the record. There it is, and there it's gone. Extinct, like so many things we see today that either go into extinction or close to extinction. And that's what we're seeing with this animal. So it makes you wonder, again, when you see these terrific specimens around the world, especially an animal that would be at the top of the carnivore scale due to its size and probably speed, strength, that would allow it to be able to spread everywhere because it's so strong and maybe savage. And maybe it traveled in packs like hyenas do today, which gave it even more strength in numbers. But again, we don't see any transitional fossils, and it's like so many others that we see in the fossil record. There's no transitions. It just there in the geologic column, and it's in a particular location, it seems. I think they call it the Cenozoic flood layers that from water deposits, and there it is in complete form. But of course, today we have nothing like it except for hyenas. But hyenas are not that big, more like a big dog, as an example. So the fact that these creatures appeared suddenly all over the world with no evolutionary precursors or transitional forms like other creatures we see in the fossil record, but it highlights the amazing diversity of life on the earth, even without the transitions. So that brings up questions. If we can't find transitions, if we don't see it today in animals, we just see complete animals with some adaptations depending on their environment, doesn't that bring into question the science of origins, where these things came from? And I guess that's what this is really about. When I go into a museum, I see complete specimens, no matter what they are. I don't see anything partially formed. I see a complete animal, saying that it was buried very quickly in a complete animal. And it really brings into question the science that is used in paleontology to classify animals and in the evolutionary tree, if you will. So again, we have questions of origins. What's it about? Where did things come from? So maybe they'll find another amazing fossil in a museum somewhere and bring them some more ideas and questions, and maybe, if we're fortunate, answers. I'm Timothy Linsdale. Like and comment on my video. Subscribe to my channel. You know what? Have a great day. Get out in the world and check things out.